And now, you're tuned into Tampa Bay's RBLR Sports.
Hey, hi everyone. This is Lizzie. Welcome to RBLR Super League Tampa Bay. We have a name now. It's very exciting. This is the Tampa Bay Sun FC podcast. That's not the official name. I'm sure Eureka has a real nice fancy name for it. But hi, welcome everyone. Today we have two awesome guests. We have Mike Pendleton. Please say hi.
Hello.
Hi, and we have Ysanne Taylor. Oh my gosh, I just realized I don't know your last name. Is it Taylor?
Yes.
It is. Okay, no, you did know it. Okay, cool. Cool. Hi. So we are here today to talk about the brand new Super League team, the Tampa Bay Sun FC. We finally got a name. We got a logo. How are we feeling about it, guys?
I'm psyched.
Very excited.
Yes, yeah. I don't know about you, but it's been way too long to not have a women's team in such a great city. And I'm not. I have it on good authority that the person of does the Rowdies have a women's team yet? Twitter is having an existential crisis because they're not sure if they want to keep that Twitter anymore.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, this fills the bill, though, right? This is what we want. This is what we need. So this is very exciting.
Yeah, because in my heart of hearts, I always knew we wouldn't really have a Rowdies women's team because they couldn't reuse the same name. There was some, I can't remember what it was, but I think it was NWSL, although I guess Super League might have different rules. So we don't know. But I don't see them putting another team in the same city.
That's okay.
Yeah.
We got the Sun. That's all we need.
Yeah. We do. Okay, so Isa, you attended the very cool brand reveal. I'm very jealous. I had to be a bridesmaid in a wedding 3 hours across the side of the state.
That's also very cool.
It was, but let's put it this way. I had my phone out for as long as humanly possible. So they were like, okay, bridesmaids, line up. And then as soon as I lined up, I turned to the groomsman next to me and I said, please hand me your phone and open Instagram because I need to go watch the live stream that's still going on.
Oh, no. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, it was at 1920 Ybor, which is this gorgeous new venue. And the energy in the room was really, really wonderful. They introduced some community partners and a really cool cast of people, like all of the people involved. The mayor was there, Tori Penso was there, which was really cool.
Awesome.
And I just, I cried a little bit. It just felt like a really cool sports moment. It was sweet.
No, I get that. I probably would have too. I would have gotten a little teary because it's a cool thing. We're finally bringing, women's professional, top level soccer to Tampa Bay. And like we were saying before, it is so overdue. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And you never get to be or rarely get to be a part of that. To be there on the ground when it's happening, be there right from the launch.
Of something
super
because you have to think about it. The last new team in Tampa Bay was the Rays, and that was 1997, 1998, something like that. So
yeah, that seems right.
Yeah, so
I trust your math. That's just wild to me that was.
I'm pretty sure it's at least it's 97 or 98 for sure.
Leagues of things, but
that too.
Professional sport. That's wild.
Yeah, and we'll kind of get to see it from the ground up all over. So we were talking a little bit before, the was it the Spokane Zephyr?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is
unfortunate.
It exists. It sure does. We
I know there's a lot of people who will listen to this from Spokane, so no offense to any of them.
No, none whatsoever.
Yeah.
Support your local women's pro soccer team.
Yeah.
There are not every name in the NWSL is a 10 out of 10 name. Let's put it that way.
That's true. It's very true. Very true.
But their branding was not so bad. But I will say, let's go to you then, Mike, about the branding. As a graphic designer and someone who loves soccer branding, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, I'm super loud every time a logo comes out in the soccer world. I feel like I have the need to comment on it, whether or not I actually do have the need to do that. So I was very anxious because you don't want it to be bad, right? Like that's just like the biggest fear is like, am I going to have to support a team with a bad logo? Well, it's my biggest fear. It's probably not most people's biggest fear. It's my biggest fear.
As graphic designers, that's our biggest.
Yeah.
We're just like, we just want it to look nice.
That's our like Olympics. That's like our final, right? And so I was psyched. I think they did a really, really nice job on it. It's obviously like professionally constructed. It's aesthetically pleasing. And I think the ties to the area are really cool. For me, like it's the tile inspiration that got me. I'm a sucker for that. I love that Spanish ornate tile, Mediterranean style tile that you see all throughout like Ybor. I think is like, that was the coolest part for me. I was really psyched when I saw that. It feels like Ybor, but it's aesthetically awesome too. So
yeah, I was very curious how they were going to make it Tampa Bay, because they were really in the community cuddles, which were back in like June. Oh god, that feels like an eternity from now.
Years.
The specific guy that they brought in, and they brought in someone who had done soccer branding before. They had like for whatever reason, the only one that sticks out to me, I think, was they did the Monterey logo.
Oh, okay.
The blue, the blue one. Yeah. That's the only one I can remember off the top of my head. But they did that logo, and I remember seeing it and being like, okay, we're in good hands. Yeah. This guy knows lines, he knows symmetry. I like this. So I have to say, I like what they came up with a lot. At first I was a little bit, it's the sun, like, okay. But once it was kind of explained to me, I went back, I watched the video that they had about it, which was nice. They that they showed at the brand reveal, talking about how the sun is what brings us all together, which that's a little hokey, but okay, I'll take it, sure.
Yeah, I mean, Sunshine State, we're the Sunshine State, where Sunshine, at least St. Pete is the Sunshine City, so it's like, it feels like that, feels pretty legit. There's obviously lots of sun here.
You can't argue with it being a symbol for the region.
No, I cannot.
Yeah.
Touche.
No, and at the community huddles, I remember a lot of people were saying what makes you think of Tampa Bay, and like one of the biggest things was sunshine, obviously, and the sun, for sure.
Yeah. No, I mean,
but
I think within the context of the Tampa Bay sports landscape, I think it fits, because at first, like, there's that, like, could it have been something a little wilder? Could it have been, something a little flashier? But I think, like Tampa Bay Rays, Tampa Bay, like, that's very nature-y. Like, it doesn't, like, big symbols. I don't think I think it fits, I guess, is the sense I'm trying to say. Yeah. And it makes sense. Everyone looks good in navy blue. Like, it looks clean on merchandise.
Yes.
There's going to be puns that you can make for social advertising. There are, like, I think that as far as, like, marketing and, like, community-wise, it doesn't pigeonhole you into something that's too goofy or too fun. It's really, really grown on me, and I think it's cute. But, like, like, respectfully, I think it's cute.
Yeah. Like, it's a cute logo. Yeah.
You're Absolutely. Looking at it very respectfully.
But respectfully. Like, cute, like, like, I like it a lot. Yeah.
Speaking of liking, please go ahead and like and subscribe on our YouTube, our Twitter, our Instagram. What else? I don't even know. We have all of this. Oh, where's it? Oh, it's all at the bottom. I'm a silly. Our Facebook, our Instagram, our Twitter, our TikTok. Please go ahead and like and subscribe, especially our YouTube. Come watch us. Very cool. RBLR Sun FC on all of those social media places. I talks a good like.
That was a pro segue right there.
Oh yeah. I'm getting really good at it.
I like it.
Yeah, I'm super pumped. I think to Issa's point, like, continuity with the area, like the brand names, I think is really cool. Continuity color wise, I think that the colors are similar to Ray's color palette. They relate to Rowdy's color. I think, that's one of the things that I want. I want, like, our soccer teams to be like friends, good friends with each other. And I think they relate, like, super well to each other. like there was a while ago, Brian Auld talked about in the future, that the two teams might share a stadium at some point. So you could imagine like put yellow seats, and it's going to look like good for either the men's team or the women's team, which I think is pretty awesome. So.
Okay, and the seats are yellow in Alang right now.
They are.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah.
Well, convenient.
Very convenient.
They do have, and we could go into that too. They do have a stadium site over at Blake High School in Tampa, which I think they made like, was it a 3 or 5 year commitment or something like that? And also a commitment to stay there, and also to not only build up that stadium while they look for another site for a more permanent place, which I think is really cool, because they are incorporating their right on the Riverwalk. It's so pretty. Oh man, it's gonna be hard, because it's like I've seen some nice views from Alang, but that's gonna look so pretty from seeing the Riverwalk.
Really nice.
We may have a competition for best stadium. Yeah. Best stadium sunset in Tampa Bay.
Let me talk. We'll have to check out.
We'll just have to go to many games and compare.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, I think walkable, because it is by the Riverwalk. I think you can get to Armature pretty easy. I haven't done that walk, but I would imagine you can get to Armature Works pretty easy from there. So food options, like
everything's pretty close by.
Plenty, around there. And I think they're making a pretty significant investment in the stadium too, like $4 million or something like that, which is, if this is temporary and they move on, it's awesome for the high school that, the facility will be improved. So I think that's a really great move to start things off.
Yeah, because it shows that they're like, we're here and we want to be part of the community. We're not just going to hi, we're going to use your stadium. Bye.
Yeah. The investment is good.
Yeah. It's just they're really committed.
Yeah. And there's nice places. I mean, like the University of Tampa has a nice stadium there. USF soccer stadium's awesome. And that's kind of honestly where I thought they'd probably end up. We've got some USF ties. I thought they'd end up in USF, but this is way closer to the core of Tampa, which is great. It's closer for us which is great. That we have a lot of soccer fans in St. Pete. Yeah. So it's kind of like and it'll be their home too. It's not like they'll be rented out USF's home or UT
right.
Like this should feel, I would imagine, kind of like it's theirs, and I think that's a pretty awesome thing to have.
Yeah. As like you were saying, I kind of thought they might go to UT Stadium. I remember liking it and liking the size of it for sure. But like you said, I love that they are gonna have their own home. Almost right off the bat, it's gonna be decked out already in the colors, because it's the same colors as like high school. Whether or not that was a huge contributing factor or not, we don't know.
That's smart. I did not know that, but that's really brilliant.
I'm like 98% sure the Blake High School colors are also navy. Definitely one of them I think is navy.
Brilliant.
Maybe the accent color is different, but I'm pretty sure it is. Somebody pointed that out in the Rowdies Discord.
Nice.
Oh, speaking of, the Discord had somebody else had a good question that was a good talking point.
Let's go.
Give me 2 seconds. I meant to have it ready, and then of course I forgot. This is Cameron or Cam FC on the Rowdies Discord. We talked about it a little bit in the first episode we did about when it was just the Super League. So they're still saying that they're shooting for D1. When they originally came out with the Super League, they were saying D2. Now they're like, nah, we're going for D1.
All right, let's go.
So
cool.
The $1 million question, I guess, is how do you guys think they're going to be able to compete financially in this market? Because NWSL right now, the entrance is what was it, 50 million or something? Absolutely ridiculous. So I'm wondering, I'm thinking the key is going to be, we're going to need 1 or 2 really big name players. I don't know how big we're going to have to be. I don't know what their funding is. It's crazy. Yeah. I'm so curious as to how they're going to build out the squad and how they're really going to be contending with the NWSL.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting one, and the timing of that question is a good one, because today NWSL announced their new broadcasting deal, which is $60 million a year. It just like blows away. There was like $1.5 million last year on their last contract. So $60 million a year, it's like $3 to $4 million to each team. That's a lot. And, you know, with us just starting out, we're going to be behind the ball there. But I'm not, you know, if it's D1 or it's D2, I mean, we know with the Rowdies, we have a blast at D2 soccer. If it's D1 or D2, we're going to have a really good time, I think, either way. Either way it happens. And even if it does get D1, you know, NWSL will probably still be kind of the top of the pyramid here. But I don't think that has to mean that it's going to be any lesser, you know, for the rest of us. There's so much talent like in the women's game here. I think the gap, top players probably be there, but I don't think the gap is going to be massive because there's just an enormous amount of talent here.
Yeah, and I'm assuming they're going to use like the W League to kind of funnel upwards, hopefully, like try and make the whole pyramid in the USL. Yeah, I'm really hoping that maybe we'll get maybe some players who didn't quite make it in the NWSL for just because it's so competitive and it was the only league. There's only there's 10 or 11 teams and there's 22 people. It's still not a lot of spots in you know, when it comes to every single little girl who wants to play professional soccer.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that maybe we'll get some of that talent, like maybe they trickle off from the NWSL, but they see this new league and they're like, hey, let's take a chance. Let's try it.
Yeah.
Do we know how many teams are, sorry if I don't, how many teams are in the Super League for this coming first season?
I think they said they were going to start off with like 8.
Tight. All right.
I want to say, yeah.
That's awesome.
But we were, they must like us the best because we were the first ones announced.
Yeah.
And I feel like I haven't been paying as much attention as I should be to the other teams, but I feel like they campaigned way harder for Tampa Bay than I have for some other teams. Now, granted, they might do it later on. Maybe the timeline is just a little bit further down for some of these other cities. Because I know, like, I think Jacksonville is planned, but they're planned for 2025. I want to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out to Morgan Tenza. She's a photographer. And she's working with them. Very cool. Yeah.
Longtime friend of the pod.
Yes, absolutely. We love her. So I think that they knew Tampa Bay was something special. Nothing against Spokane, but you know, it's Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I know that there's the 8 team that came out of the box, and then they said that there may be a couple others that join for like the next year that just weren't kind of ready to maybe at the time. Like it wouldn't surprise me. Oakland was one of the teams, Oakland Soul, who's in like the USLW. Right. They weren't announced, but like I think a stadium is going to happen by the time the season kicks off. So I think there's a good chance we could maybe see them, which would be really cool. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's, you know, they're saying maybe it's 10 to 12 potentially. I wouldn't be surprised to see that. Maybe it's 8, but I wouldn't be surprised to see that some others that kind of come online as we know more.
Awesome.
Producer Eureka made a great point in the chat, saying that they could be staggering it on purpose for maximum hype of each team, which is a great move, you know, making sure that, you know, let's put all our focus on this team right now. Let's do this release. All right, cool. We did this. They hand it off. They go to the next one. That kind of makes sense. I could see that.
And it's the start of the league. So
yeah. Should be really fun. Looking forward to it for sure. And my dream scenario, like it would be cool to get players, like you said, there may be some players that fall out of NWSL rosters because with such a small league, there just isn't places for them to go. And I'd hope that there's some like local roots here too. Like there's some players that have played at USF. Like here, my dream scenario, Evelyn Vienne, who played for USF, now plays for my Roma over in Italy right now, and is scoring goals by like the buckets. And so I would absolutely love for her to like come back here. So I think there's international players that maybe have some ties. I think there's a Caitlin Marchese. I think that's her name. She's a St. Pete person and is playing for Arsenal, like in a backup goalkeeper role. Like it would be awesome to see people like that come home too.
Yeah. Yeah, it would, especially
I'm into it.
with stuff like even as a backup keeper for Arsenal. Like that's amazing.
Yeah, would be
Just to have
awesome.
that, and then maybe should be
Pretty
starting
baller.
keeper for us.
Yeah, it would be awesome. Would be very cool.
Yeah.
It would be cool, and like especially to that point, like to like some of our coach Denise, correct? Like some of her former players to come back and play for her professionally would be a cool tie-in.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's part of the reason that they picked her too, is like because she has such strong soccer ties in the community. Like she's gonna know where to look for players, and she's already been she's been playing she's been scouting probably the whole time she's been coaching, because she's probably like, I wonder if we could snipe them from that college or something like that. I don't know if it works like that. I have no idea how college sports work, I'll be honest. But I know you'd be watching other players for like tactical reasons. So I'm sure she just has a great scope of the talent that's available in what is it? It's NCAA.
Yeah.
NCAA soccer.
Yeah.
I know my college sports so good. Like.
Yeah. Yeah, I imagine. I mean, that's a really good advantage. It's local ties here, and she's been in the game for such a long time that I have to imagine her network is pretty wide when it comes to players that she may have, some visibility into. So I think that'll be really cool, and it'll be awesome. I mean, we saw, with the Rowdies last year, Tate Johnson, local kid, 16 and then 17 years old, kind of cracking his way into the team. And you hope that other kids saw that. And now you have the Sun, where hopefully there'll be, girls who are 13, 14 who are looking like, maybe I'm not too far away from getting a crack at being able to play professionally. And there may be another pathway other than going to college for some people, which I think could be, would be really awesome.
Options.
Yeah.
Yes.
Having options is nice.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And just making it available.
Yeah.
Making it wide and available. And like the fact that they're already planning, they're like, all right, Tampa Bay, but also Jacksonville. So like that still leaves room for Miami, Fort Lauderdale, for sure. So I love that they're not quite pigeonholing themselves, which I appreciate. Like I almost felt like Orlando was like having Orlando in the NWSL, that having even a Tampa Bay team in the NWSL would feel too close. But then they have like 5 teams in California, so what do I know?
Yeah.
That's a big state.
And we could.
That's a big state.
I think that U.S. Soccer is talking about a Women's Open Cup potentially in the future as well. So the ability to be able to play against Orlando.
That would be tight.
It would be awesome.
Would be good.
So cool.
Yeah.
Go.
Would be great. So to all of these, if U.S. women's national team players aren't coming through necessarily, maybe at the very beginning into Super League, we might still be able to see them, when we're on the road in a Women's Open Cup, or if they're coming in here in a Women's Open Cup. So that would be just amazing as well,
Yeah. Bringing that to Tampa Bay would be cool.
Yeah.
For sure. But
very cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
We're saying, I know one of the other just notable things, they chose Capelli Sport for their kits. I know nothing about these kits. Does anyone else?
They have a little bit more flexibility, I believe, than like a Puma or a Nike. Not as much as is it Hummel?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I feel like Hummel is like, they do Ford Madison and stuff. So there's like a lot of flexibility, but like I know that Capelli has like more than Nike and Puma. So like I'm excited to see what happens. I'm down for a navy blue kit.
Yeah. Yeah. So I have to own it, because like this was like one of the things I was like super vocal about on Twitter, like when I saw Capelli was announced, because they had like a track record that wasn't awesome. But one of the reps reached out and had like replied to my stupid tweet and said, I think they've been working with the team for a while now, and they really kind of trying to reposition like how they're viewed, which is a great thing. So as long as I think we have kits that are like becoming of like professional women playing soccer at the highest level and have a good aesthetic look to them, and it sounds like it's something that they're aware of, then I think there's some potential. I'm optimistic, or I'm at least like open to it now, where I was maybe a little bit of a jerk on Twitter when it first was announced.
You had strong opinions. Sorry.
You care a lot about the team already.
I do.
This team
I
is
do.
our baby.
We love that.
Yeah.
No, and I noticed that they did roughneck scarves for their scarves. So I don't know if that's going to be their official manufacturer or what, but I like that they did that because I know that they are a friend of the Unused Subs pod for sure. Yeah. So I've never heard bad things about them. So I like that they're using like a commonly known manufacturer, not just like I can't think of like any old one.
Plus, that's a great scarf out of the gate. Like that's a good scarf without a doubt.
Yeah.
The starting when they were like, you can buy merch at this event right here, first merch ever, and then they go, psh, 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 like it wasn't quite as many, psh, psh, but like it looked clean. It looked like people were buying like a lot of it. Like it wasn't one where you were like, oh, like I love
maybe I'll get a sticker.
Like everything looked good. It felt good. Like cups, stickers, shirt, hat, like it all looked clean. So
yeah, I was looking at some of their merch online, and all of it looks good for first merch. It's not like overdone or anything, which you might sometimes see like right off the bat they might go like too hard. But
like,
they have like
building a brand.
Yeah, and they're all reasonably priced. Because I saw someone complaining that like, oh, these merch prices are so high, no one's gonna buy this. And then I was like, okay, well let me go look. And I went and I liked the t-shirt. They had a t-shirt or a crop top or something for like $26.99. And then I went and I was like, well, let me go look at Portland. I don't know. Yeah. I went to Portland. I looked for a non-Nike branded product to make it fair. And their crop top was like 30, something like that.
Yeah, no,
35.
that's
like it was very reasonably priced in my opinion. Like $26 for a branded t-shirt is pretty average, I want to say, because they have to make money on the t-shirts because I'm assuming they don't make much money on tickets. Not really.
I don't remember how that all buffs out, but
I know nothing about soccer math, but if it's anything like theater math.
In any aspect, they're probably trying to make money, but it all looked like a proper club.
Yeah, it wasn't slapped together, and it also wasn't, I was worried about, wasn't like, here's a shitty iron-on. Yeah. That looks plastic and bad.
Yeah.
No, it looks quality, and I think you put it up against NWSL logos, and I think it fits in well there. Like I think
it looks better than some.
It looks like a club.
It does look better than some of them.
I'm looking at you. What is it, San Francisco Bold?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't remember that one off the top of my head.
It just looks like the Boston Red Sox B in navy blue. That's it. Or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Part of it, it's
font.
I like the B in that one, but we're not talking about them. So
yeah,
I found it.
Yeah.
For sure. I'm so excited for this, man. I've been waiting for women's professional soccer for what feels like forever and a day. My dad was taking me to watch baseball games at Al Lang. We were fence watchers then, and now we get to sit inside the stadium.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that very much.
It's awesome.
That's really cool. It's gonna be good.
Yeah. I like you were saying about the logos on the kits. I'm sorry, I just thought of this. I had it in my head and then I had another thought and I was like, oh, I'll go back to that. When you were saying that they've been working with the kits for a while, that also tells me that they've had that branding director, like either hopefully he's sticking around. The same guy who was talking to us when we were like, okay, here's your rules. It's no purple and no red and gold.
Yeah. Purple would have been not great.
Yeah.
Not great. So
No, and then I was very worried because that Ybor City FC was the only thing trademarked for the longest time, which they're sneaky and they're smart because apparently, and I don't know if they announced this at the brand reveal or not, or maybe if I think it was Brian told me from the Rowdies Discord was telling me that they literally waited to trademark it until Thursday because then it would be it's not released to the public for 48 hours. So that no one can feel it.
I like that.
Very smart.
I know.
That's
Very
fine.
smart.
I like that. I like
Very
that.
smart. But I think I agree with your point too. Like I was a little bit worried that they might go the Ybor City route, and I love Ybor City, so there's no, but I did want something that felt like it was going to be the whole area. I think if it had just said it was like Ybor City FC, then me as like St. Pete guy would have been like, oh, is that really for me or not? Yeah. So I'm glad that they went with the Tampa Bay.
That's hyper local.
Yeah, Tampa Bay feels like it's all of us, and I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Region. Like
so tell me, what does this team mean to you guys then?
Yeah. For me, I'm excited by it. I think like you, Lizzie, I've been waiting for, women's soccer for a while. I really hoped that the Rowdies would do something. They had tried, and then COVID happened. We were going to be in a WPSL team, and then was super psyched when they made the NWSL bid, which didn't get selected. So I've been looking forward to having something that's our own for a while, and I'll watch NWSL casually, but it doesn't feel like it's mine, so I don't have a rooting interest for any of the teams, even though there's players that I really like in NWSL. So it's nice to be able to get into, I watch it for Roma, I try to watch as much like Serie A and on the women's side as possible, but this just feels like it's ours. So it's nice to have something that's at home where we can support the women's game here in our own community, instead of kind of passively just watching whatever women's soccer is on TV. So I'm really excited, for that reason.
I think I would definitely echo, it feels like ours. It feels really exciting to have a women's team of any kind, like that we can support in this region. There's such a strong sports culture here that it just kind of feels like the opportunity we were talking earlier about, like younger girls, and they could look up at this and be like, oh, I can be a pro soccer player. They can grow up going to Tampa Bay Sun games, and like I just get the good feelings, the tears kind of energy. Like it's I think it's really cool, and soccer is like the one sport I can commit to emotionally and like whichever ways, and so that I follow the Rowdies, and that's the sport, that's the sports team, and like casually I'll watch other teams, other games, a couple of other sports games here and there, but like to have our own women's soccer team just is gonna be really cool. And Tampa as a city is cool, and I would like to spend more time there. So I am excited for an excuse, not an excuse, but like an opportunity to go across the bridge and enjoy that city a little bit more. And then I think I'm really excited about some of the community partners they're already working with. I think like at the, what am I trying to say? At the event where they were talking about the people they were working with, like it was that moment where I was like, I really want to get involved with some of these foundations that are like helping kids, like Rise Up St. Pete, the Rise Up Soccer Club that is helping like kids and all that bit. So it's I ran out of words there, but
I get it.
It's awesome.
It's cool.
It's awesome. One of the dumb things I'm excited for is going to soccer games, and it's not going to be like brutally hot outside too. I think one of the nice things is that there'll be some overlap with the Rowdy season, but we get like year-round soccer now. You get the Rowdies spring to fall. This is going to cut over from the fall into the winter, into the spring. Yeah. So like the nicest time of year for us, you can sit in the stands and not be like pouring with sweat. Little dumb thing, but I'm very excited about that.
I mean, I have an excuse now to buy as many sweatshirts as I want for the Sun, which I have refrained from the Rowdies, because it's like, when am I ever going to wear one?
Yeah, we can't wear Rowdy sweatshirts, like that's just silly, But we can wear Sun ones.
Yeah,
I'm into it.
Yeah, that's a really good point though. Like honestly, we are lucking out with some really great weather for the Tampa Bay Sun starting off. It'll be like August will still be kind of warm, maybe September, but even like going into October.
What's that?
Less rain,
less
maybe.
rain?
August
I
is a
think-
little rainy.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
A touch.
Yeah.
Better
definitely.
weather overall.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
But right before June, well, it gets kind of hot May, June, but like, we won't have July. July we have off for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And go
That'd be
sweat at a
really nice.
Rowdies game.
Yeah.
Would be really nice.
So what do you guys hope, what do you hope that they do next? Like, what is the next thing you want to see announced? What's the next thing you want to see them do?
Well,
trying to, like-
Is that too vague of a question? I'm sorry.
Well, I have a hard time because I'm thinking like, okay, like logistically, you wouldn't have kids till probably next summer based on like, when things are actually produced. So like that's a hard question for me because I'm like logistically and emotionally.
Yeah.
It's like
Emotionally, I
kids.
want all
I
of
want
it
it
yesterday.
What'd you say?
I said emotionally, I want all of it yesterday.
Correct.
Yeah.
Emotionally, I want kids and I want to meet our team. Right?
Yes.
Meow.
Yeah.
Right meow. But logistically. So,
Yeah. I think I'm trying to think. There are a couple things to be crossed off. There's been rumors around like practice facility somewhere in Ybor, so that'd be nice to like find out where that is. The irony being that one of the owners of the Sun actually owns the Rowdies training facility. We're all just one big family. So it looks like there'll be another one rumored to be in Ybor. So we'll see where that comes to if that comes to pass. And then players, players, and which I know we're a little ways off, but to Isa's point, players, kits, will be really excited, and to see the league fill out. Like, I think the details on how are we going to be able to watch the Sun? Is it going to be on ESPN like it's been with the Rowdies on ESPN Plus? So
what combination of streaming services will we need to watch this team?
Exactly. So I think that will be cool. I think sponsors maybe is not always the most exciting thing, but to know that the community is behind them is good. So I think that'll be good. So there's a lot of things probably to come. I mean, we got two of the big ones, stadium and the brand, out of the way. So that's awesome. We know who your head coach. Yeah. So still some exciting things I think to come for us, but we've started with a bang. That's for sure.
Yeah, no, honestly, sponsors is a really good one. I am interested to see who's willing to like put their money where their mouth is in terms of their business, for sure. Because they've been supporting the Rowdies, are they going to support the Sun too?
Yeah. In front of kit sponsor is another important like design nerd thing, because like you can have a kit sponsor that doesn't look great with the rest of like the brand identity, and then some that look awesome. Yeah. So let's hope that we're going to get a good one on the front.
Yeah. That would be good. Hopefully it goes good with navy and yellow.
Yeah, exactly.
I know I'm hoping, like, obviously I want a roster really bad. I want just anything they can give me. I've up until like Wednesday, and it was only because I had something to do. I can't remember what it was, last Thursday night. I was literally Googling like trademarks. I was looking at like David Lax or Daryl Shaw, trying to look for different trademarks. And stuff. Like, I was like, I want the information. Give it to me. I want to like your team so bad.
Moderate stalking levels.
Let me love you.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Strong.
So I'll take anything they can throw at me. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Man, back in 2020, when the Rowdies were coming, I was like, all right, let's do this. Yes. And then March came and it was like, nope, not happening.
Yeah. This is good. And I do I think for a long time I wanted like the Rowdies brand to be like on the women's side as well. But I think it is better for us to have our own identity here on the women's side. That's another really great thing. There won't be any kind of confusion or anything like that. This can be, the Sun can own who the Sun really is. And that's great. We have our own thing. That's like the headline of this whole thing. We have our own
our own thing. Yay.
Yeah.
I like it.
I like that. Eureka, that needs to be the title of the episode. We have our own thing. Yay.
Awesome.
This is good. This is really fun, guys. You guys are great. And I'm so glad I had such two wonderful people to talk to about this. Do you guys have any like final thoughts about the team? Do you guys, you want to plug your own pluggables, your social medias?
So people can find me on Twitter, being entirely on the wasteland that is what's left of Twitter. Still far too much. At Fat7Deuce, PHAT7Deuce on Twitter. That's pretty much the only place that I hang out. And anybody can also follow along on, if you want to follow the women's game, but very far away where the food is great in Italy, then you can follow us at AS Roma Tampa Bay as well. Or and you can watch women's soccer in Italian with us, which is also awesome.
I dig that. I have to come out to that. Me. Personally, I'm on all of the things at YSANN3, and then you can follow my daily life and works at I Love the Berg, and that's at Tampa on all of the things.
Everything
cool.
On all
everything.
Cool.
Everywhere. Isa is everywhere.
All right. And I am Lizzie the Lion on all of the things, the Instagrams, the Twitters, the Blue Skies, the Threads, all the things. Blue Sky was like private for half a second, and I think that's what killed it, unfortunately. They were like, oh, we don't want to overload our servers, and then I think everyone forgot about it.
That's all right. It happens.
And for everybody else, please join the hundreds of people who have already followed us on Instagram, Twitter, and Threads. We are at RBLR Sun FC. Go ahead and hit the like button where you're watching right now on this YouTube channel, because you know that you are. And please keep an eye out for the RBLR Sun FC inspired merch we will have coming soon.
I can't wait. Thanks for having us.
Thank you for tuning into this presentation by RBLR Sports. On your way out of the stadium, please remember to like and subscribe.